Okay, we're live. Let me know how the audio is going and how's it going, guys? So we have an exciting class today. We're doing a lot of exciting things today, and a lot of exciting things are kind of happening at once. So in the last class, I was at my sister's wedding, so I had to rush a little bit at the end. I didn't have time to go over a lot of the things I was going to cover last class. So we'll cover some of those advanced topics in the no code editor. Um, we did go through looping though. I think that was pretty good. But we didn't cover how to break out of a loop, so some of you might still be stuck in an infinite loop since last week. I apologize. So if anyone is still stuck in an infinite loop, we'll teach you how to get out of that loop today. So essentially the way to get out of a loop is to add a conditional branch, a test. And we'll show you how to do that today. And then you can break out of the loop, or you can keep going in the loop based on a condition, basically. So this is useful for infinite scrollers, for example. You can build something that keeps scrolling a little bit and checks if it's at the bottom of the page yet using the magic scraper. It's really cool. And then keep scrolling. I don't think any other tool makes that easy, but you can just kind of build it using English. It's kind of fun. Maybe we can do that today if we have time. And then we're gonna go back. I missed a few things in the last few classes. I rewatched all the classes to make sure that I could go over it myself if I had no idea what I was doing. And I think I skipped like a few things we'll cover maybe in the next slide. And then if we have time, we'll do some live mode stuff because that's really exciting. We have now significantly upgraded live mode, and there are really cool consequences of the million context window. So we figured out how to build a documentation agent that can take our entire code base finally. And we have new documentation. I'll talk about that. But that is also, what that means is if it can read the document, if it can read the code base, it can also generate the code base. So, well, that's not necessarily true, but it has just enough to double. If we double the number of tokens we need for our code base, it still fits within a million tokens. So that means that Google Gemini is currently the only model that can do this. I tested GPT-4, Claude, all the other models. They try and even if they say they can do a lot of context windows, they do something that makes it not work as well, basically. So I think Gemini actually trained on large context training data, like relevant and large, which is hard to maybe do. So I think what's happening maybe in the evals is most models focus on short context training, and they kind of overfit to optimize for that. But that's why maybe Gemini is not like clearly leading. But I think if you added like large context projects, like documentation or generating code soon, I think people will start doing this. I think they'll start to realize Gemini. People are sleeping on Gemini. But maybe it'll change tomorrow. That's the nature of what's happening right now. It changes like every day. So this only happened like a few months ago. It's kind of funny. So it's exciting. And by just like building on our platform, you also inherently get to ride that wave with us because all your agents get upgraded with every new upgrade and every new model. Like now all your agents have a million context windows as well. So it's kind of exciting. So, all right, let's continue. So, oh yeah, so OpenAgent Cloud is really exciting. Let me just quickly preview it. So, basically, it allows you to scale up operations after you've created a core agent team for marketing, sales, SEO, like we're building. And we're going to run, so the way we've designed it is really exciting. Maybe I'll talk about it at the end of class a lot more, but it essentially allows you and us to scale up to thousands of agents, hundreds of agents in each one of these. These are each instances in the cloud. They're each running OpenAgent Studio in a cloud instance with everything installed, with your API key all set up. and I'll demo it maybe at the end of the class. And you can buy these for like, well, we're subsidizing it through an angel investment, so it's super cheap. So you can set these up in the cloud for a lot cheaper than if you had tried to rent it from like Google. And you can scale, like, you can pack like hundreds of agents into each one of these. Like, I think we did the math, like, the way we have this scheduling set up is it automatically queues all the agents right next to each other. So if you schedule all your agents at 10 a.m., it'll queue them efficiently. And so if you, like, on average of 5 minutes, you can do like 200 agents per day or something. So that's pretty cool. So what that means is, like, on this screen itself, you can scale up to 1,000 agents. And no, I don't think anyone's actually tried that. And we're doing it not just like in a simple way. We're taking very careful steps in how we're building this like infrastructure. So it feels like we're actually just getting started. It's really exciting. So it feels like all the stuff we've done until now is kind of simple. So what we're going to be able to do soon is multivariate testing at scale across thousands of agents in marketing, and then maybe drill down on a thing that's working, and that's for free, and simulation at scale in parallel. This exciting creator program where if we do it right, we could bring in billions of dollars for our creators and early supporters. There's like a lot of cool consequences of what we're building. And also, we can build these research agents that have these cool sandboxes that just run, and they're not just like going and doing things, but they have this environment to run Python and go build and do whatever they want on their own. And we could run many of them in parallel to work on like slight variations of a certain task. I think that's very exciting too. So we have a lot of cool things. This opens up a lot of cool things for us, and it solves a lot of problems for our customers. Like the biggest problem we have is, since we have such unique like network and technology, like the setup is different for everyone a little bit, and we have to like do this enterprise grade white glove setup for everyone. But this is instant. That's kind of cool. So that's one of the big things it solves, is like if you have a Mac version that's like you've had maybe like some pain in setting up OpenAgent Studio, and I apologize, but this solves that. So basically this, you can set it up it sets up in a minute, but just to be safe for the launch, I've added like a delay of 5 minutes to see how it works on like all customers' users' devices, and then we'll optimize that. So like in a minute, maybe one day, like 2 minutes, just to be safe, you can spin up like a new instance with all your agents pre-installed, your keys pre-installed, all the latest version reinstalled, and you can like even start editing it. So we have this system where I've also set up like a direct way to edit it, but you can, it automates the setup if you have the Chrome extension installed to, hold on a second. That's not the pen. I gotta get the pen, sorry. I'll publish this pen, that's okay. It automates a process if you have the Chrome extension installed to set up Chrome Remote Desktop to all these instances as well. But we have this cool other way to connect to it as well. I'll maybe cover it at the end of the class. But we like invented this new way using, like, we didn't code most of it. We used live mode with WebRTC streaming to allow us to efficiently stream many agents in parallel. Like, we're doing 6 for now. I think we can do better. But it's kind of cool that we can generate whatever we imagine, and it builds it for us. So I'm just taking advantage of that as much as possible. It's exciting. So this lets you basically, it solves the problem of you can log into your devices. It also has Chrome installed, but you get the idea. You can log into, when you run things in the cloud, the only thing you need to do is log into your accounts. And this also solves a big problem for us. Maybe I'll talk about that later. So that's kind of exciting. Okay, so we'll cover that next week. So this is just a preview of like how it works and what it does. You can buy access to it instantly. In the next Chrome extension update, you'll be able to do this by access to it instantly, restart them, edit them using Chrome Remote Desktop, and upload a video. And that's one of the exciting things. You can upload a Loom video, and soon we'll have it available even on our front page without even logging in. Maybe like up to like 10 megabytes. But in the logged in version, you can upload up to 50 minutes of audio and video. It doesn't have to be a Loom video. And it will generate the no-code graph, just like our formatted no-code graph for you, of you doing your thing. It's kind of exciting. You need them, like, we've had issues in the last few classes where the extension update doesn't match. We're just coding too fast. We're founder moding too fast. Yeah, the extension doesn't match with what students have, so it's really confusing if you're trying to do it live. But if you go back and watch the classes, it works when you finally get it, maybe. And so I want to make sure we do everything well for this last class, and we kind of we made it as easy as possible, basically. Like, you just click buttons. You can install and run our pre-built agents directly. You don't need to install any agents locally for all these core agent teams. And then we'll be adding 3 more core agents to the team by the next class. SEO, monitor, and the ads agent, starting with Google Ads. And so these will all run in the cloud for you if you just have this set up. And we've designed it in a cool, efficient way where you only need to set up your core agent team once, and then you can, every one of these instances has the same schedule, but you just log into separate accounts for each one of them to scale up operations, basically. So like a core functional unit, and then you kind of scale that up. Maybe you can design it other ways if you want to. All you have to do is like log into a different cheat layer account in each one of these if you wanted to do that. But that's the way it's set up now. Okay. So let's see. Oh, I forgot to set up email forwarding in the last few classes. Let's do that now. I keep forgetting how to do this. Okay. So, I mean, I know how to do this, but I keep forgetting to show how to do this. So basically, to use our email, our core agent team for emails for outbound and inbound. For outbound, it's really easy. You just have to log into Google Workspace. And it doesn't have to be a Gmail account. It can be your business workspace account. And, for example, we have trycheatlayer.com right here. See, it's Rohan at trycheatlayer. And then basically we recommend putting like a try in front of your email as well, because it helps deliverability. It doesn't like damage deliverability for your main email address, since this is automated and we don't know. We're kind of testing it to start. And that's like just general advice. Okay, so now go back to the dashboard. What this really mostly sets up right now is the inbound agent for the autoresponder, which is super valuable. Like, we've had customers, I'm not going to point them out because I don't want to put anyone on a spotlight, but we've had customers like talk to this agent, and the agent is really good though, so that's why I don't blame them. And the agent responds like me, because I've given it examples of what I should say, but it says completely wild things that don't match up with what I want to do. Like, no, we're not going to give you a lifetime account. Like, I don't want... You'll notice these agents are overly suggestible, so people can like get them to do things. So you have to be explicitly put rules of things you don't want to allow, I think. But it's like teaching an employee. Not exactly. It's like not as good as humans yet. So you have to be more explicit, actually. So that's just one of the the consequences of our current model, but it'll just keep getting better and better as we keep upgrading models and things. Okay, so go to agent settings and then get your email forwarding address. Each account has a separate one. With OpenAgent Cloud, we'll have a way to have separate emails and phone numbers for each instance as well. That's kind of cool too. Because they all host their own servers. So there's so much about that. Like, that's an entire class. That's why it's an entire class. Let's see. let's get the email address and then come back here. And this is just set up forwarding. So you can forward from any other like mail forwarding service. But we use Google Workspace since it's optimized for high deliverability. Google tends to not block their own services. And I mentioned in the last class why we use it. But there's like several ways to automate it and stay within human limits and get really high deliverability, basically. Okay. So I'm going to click Add Forwarding Address. And we automate all those limits for you, so you don't really have to think about the details of what's the latest app or... Oh, no. Oh. There's my phone. Okay. Well, maybe I'll do this at the end of class if I have time. Oh, here it is. It's like sitting there. Where's the thing? Oh, I haven't sent it yet. 644-327. 327. I don't think there's any way to like man in the middle of that. That would, I don't think so. Yeah, but that would be interesting. When you say something, there's like this trick where it stays in your memory a little bit longer, so I take advantage of that a lot. Okay, so if you have the Chrome extension installed and you entered that thing there, you'll see this confirmation pop up. It won't pop up unless the Chrome extension is installed, because we automate this process, some of the like confirmations set up and stuff. And so make sure the Chrome extension is installed and you're logged into CheatLayer. And then this window pops up, and then click confirm. And then we have to go back here and still do something. So after all that, if you refresh the page, you'll see that it's confirmed, but you have to like set it up or whatever. Okay, yeah, see, it's still disabled, but now we can... Wait, what just happened? Is that like broken? Hold on. That's not normally like that. Hold on. Maybe I broke it. It's normally a drop down. Oh, I did break it. What do I... Hold on. I don't know how I got into this. I've never seen... Okay, let me try this again. Refresh. I hope I didn't break it, because I need to use this. Oh, wait. Maybe I can... Oh. Does that work? I hope that works. Let's find out. Oops. Oh, okay. That was odd. I've never seen that before. I hope that doesn't happen to you. If it does, you can do what I did, I guess. So, okay, so that now it should work. Now you just kind of email it. Let's try it. And then I'll just respond in about a minute. Okay, so while we're waiting for that, let me make sure I set it up correctly. Yeah, I think it's all right. Oh, there's the response, so it's working. So, oh, interesting. And so it also triggers like a custom agent there. So I said I'm interested in a demo. I kind of sent it quick, I guess. That was weird. Okay, and then it also sent an email because it triggers my email.cheat file. And this happens in the cloud if you have it set up in OpenAgent Cloud. So, and the earlier than it sent it from, you might have seen like something in the top right-hand corner. What it was doing is it was running this agent that the email address sends a Gmail email. And then, let's see. Let's go back here. Oh, the documentation agent. Okay. Yeah, and there's like a lot of other exciting things happening right now. We got into Antler.co. We're working with some big customers. There's like investors, and we're super busy. My sister's wedding just ended in the last week, and then it's like really exciting because I'm like waking up as soon as I wake up, I start working, and then I sometimes have meetings all day. So I work on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I have meetings all day. And then the other days in between, I'm like working on building the product, and it's really exciting. And so, but it feels like we could be doing a lot more because we're growing like organically really quick, like faster than ever. So I'm not doing that much. So if I did things, I think I still have to reach product market fit, I think, but as soon as we reach product market fit, we can just go in order with sales and scaling and things like that, and getting investors. Yeah. It's kind of cool that we were able to bootstrap to this point because that gives us more leverage over investors, actually. Counterintuitively, like intuitively, it's easiest to get money from investors when you don't need it. Okay, so so we had a really exciting thing happen recently. So basically, like I was talking about earlier, we figured out how to generate our documentation. Let me show you our old documentation. Just as comparison, I think this is a good visual aid, like educational purposes. It's kind of fun. This is what you don't do. A lot of this class is really just learning from my mistakes, actually. So it saves you a lot of time. But we use this thing called Gitbook. It's not Gitbook isn't in itself isn't bad, but we like the old. This is like the old documentation, and so let's just compare. Like some of these don't even make sense. Like it doesn't even like yeah this doesn't help anyone. I think it's like pointless. It's kind of funny. But now we'll compare it to the new one, okay? So this is the new fancy. This is the old and busted, and this is the new hotness. So let's go here. Okay. So we actually auto-generated this using an agent because we have the 1 million context window now. Well, not all of this. Like some of this was from our old stuff, but I had to edit some things that like it didn't understand. But most of it, it like wrote way more detailed. This is just the preview. This is just the introduction. Way more detailed things on all the little parameters and no code buttons because it can read the code. So it actually understood the code and linked it. I gave it our entire code base for the desktop version. Not the entire thing, just the relevant. The entire thing is probably way too large, but just the relevant parts of it. And it's about 300,000 tokens. And we can support 1 million tokens in Gemini. And so what happened was that means it can now also generate the output. But this isn't like a 600,000. This is just documentation. But next we can actually, what that means is next we can use live mode to generate backends, desktop apps, iOS apps, entire products, things like that. Okay, so now let me go over. Oh, let me show you some of these. Yeah, let's compare. Compare to the old one. Yeah, it has like a description of all the little parameters, and these are correct. I like went through and read through and fixed the ones that weren't correct, but it's actually explaining how they work and some things that I forgot to maybe write down. And the cool thing about this is it's automated, which means that every time we update a little feature or parameter or optimize something, I don't have to remember to go back and update this, which I rarely do. It's really hard to do. And then so this now automates the whole process of generating the documentation by just taking the GitHub repo, and every time I update the code, it regenerates using the same format because I just copy the format. And I have to go back and add relevant images and videos and things like that. So there's not much images here, but it's also in GitHub. So users can help us now add those images and relevant things. So if you want to, you can fork the GitHub repo. I have to find where that is. Let's see. It's docs, basically. Yeah, okay, here it is. So I'm not really helpful here, but it's at /rohanarun/docs. And if you fork this repo, you can actually edit part of our documentation and help us add videos, tutorials. That's what we need help with, like video, little animated GIFs or videos for each one of these things. Because there's some missing. There's like some things are missing based on execution and how it actually works and stuff. But I'll go over some of that today. Like throughout this whole class, you should see how all these work actually. So I can just maybe we can pull out, or people can see this and help us pull out videos and update this. I'd appreciate that. Okay, cool. So let's go back. And if you need access to this, maybe I'll put it in the slides as well. Okay. And then docs.cheatlayer.com is how to get to the latest cheat layer thing. Okay. So let me get back here. Okay, so let's go over conditional branches. So we didn't cover this in the last. This is like one of the more advanced features in the no-code editor, but it's useful. You need it for doing like all certain automations. You need it. So I'm going to cover all the more advanced things to do basically every automation. Okay, so all right, let's do like start over and let's load like a PDF maybe. So I'm gonna load a file. So the download node allows you to load a file from the internet or on your computer. And it basically loads that into memory so that you can use it downstream for something. So let me get a file, like a PDF file. I have some resumes here. Let's find one of those. Oh, there's one. Is that a resume? Yes, that's a resume. Okay. So let me copy this, copy the path, and then come back here. So this is how you load any file. This can load PDFs, documents, text files, Excel files, URLs, stuff. It's useful just loading data. Except if you want to load a Google Sheet, you might want to use this one instead. But because it lets you load a specific sheet name tab, so that's it. Yeah. So now let's do that, and then now let's analyze it somehow. So let's use the GPT-4 node. This is actually no longer GPT-4. We should update this icon, but essentially, it'll basically all these are now going to be just up. We're going to switch to whatever's. That's not Dolly anymore. Too. That's now Ideogram. We're going to switch to whatever's like the latest state-of-the-art models. Possibly even our own models for some of these things one day. So that's exciting. Okay. So in here in the GPT-4 node, this allows us to process data using LLMs, basically. So let's maybe say something like summarize the resume. And if the candidate, wait, hold on. I don't know. Let's check that. Okay. Yeah, okay. And if the candidate has HTML experience, and this is just an example just to illustrate. You can try this at home right now with me, and you should be able to do something. So, resume. Oh, you might need the latest updates for some of these things, but this one should work. If the candidate has an HTML experience, say yes. Or maybe I want to see. Okay, let's just see what happens with that. And then I'll add a conditional branch, but I just want to see what happens. So Control R to run it, or file run in the top left-hand corner. It's opening a start node. We don't necessarily need that for this agent, and you might want to remove it for some of these silent agents that do things in the background. As a good design practice. So okay, so it should be done. Oh, sorry, I forgot a step. I'm supposed to be teaching you guys. That's funny. Okay, in the GPT-4 node, click automation input, and then click download one, because we had a download node. So what this allows us to do is basically select any of the previous nodes as input in part of the prompt. And this can also include phone and email transcripts and webhook inputs and things like that. This is a simple example. And type output is false, and we can leave webhook input, nothing. But that's where you would trigger custom webhook inputs as well. So, all right, now let's try it again. Oh yeah, we have a class today. Okay. See, yes. Okay, so it added some more stuff, so maybe I'll just say yes only now. Word. That's one of the uses of the GPT-4 node, is to add like logical reasoning, filtering. You can add up to 3,000 pages of instructions into that input. Most people don't, but they add like up to 3 to 10 maybe in extreme cases. It tends to be, so yes. It tends to be where a lot of the value, the GPT-4 and the Magic Scraper node I've talked about before, a lot of the value is distilled into those prompts. Okay, so and that's just because the model itself is not very smart today, and that means that that's a good thing, because otherwise, like, it would be a lot harder to sell products and things and compete. But for now, you can leverage your deep industry insight to start building and growing a network and getting distribution for what happens next, basically. So let's now talk, like, actually test what we're doing this little lesson for. And so if you scroll down and click if else, this is a conditional branch. You'll see, like, unlike other nodes, it has two outputs. And so what happens is this allows you to test any previously generated thing using some conditional tests like it includes or equals or less than and stuff like that. And if it's true, it takes the top path. And if it's false, it takes the bottom path. So this allows you to build conditional branches and design automations that loop like this if there's something false until it finds something true. So that's a useful, like what I was just talking about when we're, like if we were building like an infinite scroller, that's how you would build an infinite scroller. You would keep looping and scrolling until the magic scraper node outputted that it was at the bottom of the page. And then you would leave the loop. That's also like another way to exit the loop that we talked about in the last class, where we were opening links constantly. Otherwise, it'll just keep opening links. So you give it like the number of links that it's opened or the last link and things like that. So, okay. Now let's add something so it does something here. I'm going to email myself. And then I'm going to include maybe the transcript. I can also include like a summary. I can show you how to do that. Candidate HTML. Experience. All right, so you don't have to send it to yourself. More often, when we're building agents for customers, they have like these rules, like a list of spreadsheets. That's a common pattern of people in their organization, and tasks and rules. And we can use that to route emails, phone numbers, SMS, everything in our system. You can trigger a custom agent like this, and you can route it using these rules, basically. Email is actually very easy because you can just generate an email address using the Magic Scraper node, and the email output has this thing. This allows you to programmatically select an email output address, which means this is a common use case. You might have like routing to sales reps or someone in an organization, depending on severity and what the market and whatever, or support reps and things, whatever. Everyone has this routing. So you can build custom routing rules like this and generate a email from the Magic Scraper node plus like a spreadsheet input that has all your rules. So let's assume maybe that you're processing like an input email from a customer. You would use the Magic Scraper node, and it would generate one email address. And that email address would be who to route it to. And then you would select that Magic Scraper output here. It would just show up here. In this case, I'm not going to use it, but you would see it, and then that way it would route it to a specific person. Maybe I can do that in future class or in a class if we have time. But yeah, that's a pretty good use case. All right, so that's good enough. I want to send actually the Magic Scraper output, so maybe I'll just, oh, sorry, the GPT-4 output, so maybe I'll create another GPT-4 output to do something with this, and then I'll send that. But let's just try this. Okay. And then the no goes somewhere else, but yeah. Okay. I mean, if that's conditional. Oh, I didn't set it up. My bad. Sorry, I keep forgetting. I'm supposed to be teaching you guys. It's funny. Okay. So the variables in the if-else, we didn't set up the if-else node. So the if-else node has to predicate on some variables. I just explained what it did. Kind of I skipped over setting it up. So we have to pick like one of these variables, basically. So we can pick the downloaded PDF if we wanted to. But we also generated like a very specific yes or no to make this a little bit easier. So we can say yes. Okay, that should be enough. Sorry about that. Let me just make sure I didn't skip anything else. Okay. Yeah. Let's run them. Okay. This is one of those silent things. I should just delete the start node. But it's running. Okay, sent email. Cool. So it sent the email because it went through the A path. Oops. 9. Whoops. Okay. Well, you'll just see it. Okay. Okay. Oh no. Okay, it's okay. I'll do it later then. Let me go through like a negative, So let's test it for no then. Yeah. So let me just show you the difference basically. So I'm gonna put no. You don't need to do this just to understand it, but I can just dig into it just to show you a little. So you see like the output is in the console window, you'll see the output path that it takes is path B. But last time it was path, I don't think that one. Oh, yes. Oh, if it was yes, yeah, it was path A. Okay, cool. Because we just ran it twice. Cool. So yeah, I can just run it again so you can see. Or we can do something else with path B, like send the email to someone else or open a program maybe or something. Let's see. Yeah, that's an easy one. And let me change this back to yes. Or wait. Yeah. Oh wait, that's not a good one because it just opens this thing again. Okay. Well, see, it just still opens this thing again. Let me do a better test. Let's go to google.com if it's a no. HTTPS. And then instead of email, let's go to like another website maybe so it's more visual. Or we can generate an image. We can do lots of things. So I'll go over like some of these advanced things today, so you know what all these buttons do. We'll go over all the buttons basically. So let me just do like a quick one because the image takes like a few minutes to generate, and then we'll go to that next. Let's open Amazon maybe. Oh, cheat layer is fine. Okay, cheat layer or Google. Race. Oh, sorry, I haven't checked the chat or anything in a while. Let me check that in a second. The questions. Okay, cool. Google, because it was a no. Like, check for questions. Hey guys, I'm a Mac user. Can't wait for OpenAgent Cloud. Yeah, a lot of Mac users are waiting for it because it's really hard to set up the Mac version. I apologize. Mac beta testers. I would just use yeah, it's a good learning experience. I would just use the Linux version because it's so cheap. Like it's only we subsidize the cost to $18 a month with like an automated coupon, or we'll have a Linux version that you can You can usually install on like a cheap Raspberry Pi or something. I think there's one user who has like a stack of Raspberry Pis he's building, which is kind of cool. If anyone builds something cool, let me know. Okay. Yes. Okay, no more questions, I think. Wait, I tried writing to a Google Docs and it deferred to Google Sheets. Yes, it can write to Google Docs. I think you need to give it a specific Google Doc. I think it's more has more options with Google Sheets because we train more. So Google Docs only has the option to like write text. But it works with Google Docs, yeah. I think, well, I don't think we have a no code button for it. So what you can also do is just open Google Doc and type it in and stuff. Anything you do manually, if you practice at this level in the no code editor, just like master 4 of these, and then the 26 other ones you can just play with because it's fun. You can automate anything that you've done on the computer. That's why OpenAgent Cloud is so powerful, and it's all English. Like all of this, like I did today, you'll notice like none of this was code. It's all English. And so if you just practice this, you'll be very quickly you'll be able to automate any process, even if there's like a no API or stuff like that. I'd recommend that. Yeah. And then okay, so let's get back to conditional. Oh no, let's go through some more advanced things. Come here. And conditional branches. Did I go over advanced notebook features? Oh, let's do that next. Okay, cool. Okay, so there's like microphone, webcam, file. I did file inputs, so maybe let's do like microphone and webcam inputs and stuff. So, okay. Maybe we should do a loop and break out of it. Okay, if I have time at the end of class, I'll do that. Let's do a webcam. And then let's do stuff based on the webcam. Okay, so the webcam input takes the image and allows you to describe it using a language model, or do things like with the image using a language model. So you can say like, is there a person there? Or describe the image as like a simple one. I think it's going to use my potato camera on my laptop, so it'll be low quality, so we'll find out. Describe the image. Let's just try this for now, and then we'll build some fun stuff on top of it. This is actually really fun because you can build like home automation or office automation things. I mean, this is more like fun. I don't think we should focus on this really too much, but maybe some of you guys have interesting use cases. Okay, yeah, see, it's a person wearing headphones. I'm not wearing, oh, maybe because I was going like this in front of a window. Okay, so let's go back to the editor. You'll see on the right-hand side it describes what it's doing. Let's see. Facing away from the camera, background is blurry, silhouetted against bright window. Okay, cool. Oh, wait. I think this is somehow stuck on my old webcam input. That might be a bug. Okay, I'll continue and I'll investigate that later. So next, I'm gonna use the output to do something with it. So let's use the GPT-4 node. Yeah. Automation output webcam, and then let's say is there a person in the image, and do they look shady? Answer only yes or no. I'm pretty sure it's gonna say I look shady. I'm dark and silhouetted. I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, I should remember to remove the start node. Okay. Yes. I'm shady. That's funny. Okay. And then if it's yes, let's do a conditional. All right, now we'll predicate on that web GPT-4 output. Includes yes. So if you find someone shady in the webcam, email someone or log it in like a Google Sheet or something like that. Maybe let's do a Google Sheet example. Well, maybe I'll do that next because that's a good use case for recording. Okay, and then okay. You can also have the same rules that I was talking about earlier in like routing these things. That's a common pattern. Maybe I should cover that somehow in a future tutorial or whatever. Okay. Body variable. Well, right now it just says yes. Maybe I can tell it to describe the person as well. Okay, it's good enough for now. If it's yes, it does something. If it's no, it does another thing. Oh, you can also make it like, maybe I should wait till there's a no code button to describe that. But you can make it call people, that's kind of cool. Okay, let's just do that. Okay. So I'm just illustrating more conditional branches. Person wearing a headphone, sent email. Okay, sent emails. Oh, I understand. I was like wearing an email in that image. Okay, it's somehow stuck on that. I think that's like a bug or something. Oh, and I sent an email to myself, so now it's responding. Please specify one recipient. Okay, now it's confused. Okay, never mind. I think I might have broken some of this. Let me set this up again. Okay. So let's do microphone inputs maybe. DALL-E generates images. Synthetic video generates videos. Those we kind of have to wait for, so maybe I'll do it at the end. Let's do recorder. Okay, this is kind of cool. So this records from your microphone. Oh, what is it gonna do? I think I have a microphone built. Okay, I hope it works. I didn't test this while I was streaming, so I don't know what it's gonna do. I hope that works. Okay. You can call it something and then give it like a period and then run this. Oh, testing. I am giving a class on OpenAgent Studio and cheat layer agents. Okay. Okay. So see, that like generates a transcript. Maybe I'll do a longer one. Let's do that. So you can actually, so it's interesting for automations because you can do things like recording videos on the internet or live streams or like do automations based on live events and things like that, or radio automations. There's a lot of cool things you can do, but like or pre-recorded audios and videos and stuff like that. Not just meetings. I think that's the obvious solution people would use it for. You can do it for meetings, but this can go up to like hours of recordings. So that's one of the maybe interesting use cases. Okay. So yeah, let me just run this again. Oh, let's do something with it. So let's process the output somehow. Let's summarize it maybe. Okay, so summarize the transcript. And then under automation input, we can select the recording. And it's recording 1 because we have a recording 1 node in the graph. Okay. And then maybe this one maybe we'll send to a Google Sheet. So for Google Sheets, you can make sure you have your Chrome extension installed. And that's one of the benefits of having our Chrome extension is it allows you to send unlimited data to Google Sheets. So open sheets.new in a new tab. I assume when you install the Chrome extension, it asks you to log in. If it doesn't, redo it, and it'll ask you to log into a Google account. That's where you give permissions. Or it's going to ask you right now when we send data again. And it's going to ask you basically to give permissions to cheat layer. You need to select allow for both and then click continue. It's not going to ask me because I've already set it up. So you only need to set it up once. So that's one good thing. We need to just copy the URL and remember down here the sheet name. It's sheet 1 in English, but we have many like international users where it's different. So just remember what that is. And you can change it if you want to make it sheet 1 too. So come back, double click the Google Sheets node, and then paste in. We've done the Google Sheets node before. This is just maybe like a more interesting example. Switch read to write, and this is sheet 1. And these should be columns, but for now, we're not going to worry about that. We can get the recording. Let's go to GPT-4.2. Yes. And then I think that's it. Okay. Let's run that. Oh, I need to talk, I think. I am giving a class about teaching users how to run OpenAgent Studio in the cloud or on their local machines to automate manual processes that may include reasoning tasks entirely using no-code buttons that are both future-proof and less brittle than existing solutions like RPA tools like UiPath and Microsoft, essentially allowing users to quickly... Okay, it's done. Okay, cool. We got a long enough transcript there. And it generated something... Hold on. Recording... And it sent data to Google Sheets. Okay, cool. Let's see what the data in Google Sheets is. Oh, wait. It didn't send data. Let me make sure I'm logged in. Hold on. Okay. And then I don't think there is a size limit, but let me just make sure. We're at writing. And it's a Google Sheet. Yep, that's right. Okay, that should be fine. And then if there's some issue, we'll investigate maybe. Oh, I'm supposed to be talking. Okay, so I'm giving a class teaching users how to automate their manual processes using no-code buttons in OpenAgent Studio. In today's class, we're covering advanced no-code options like conditional branches and loops and breaking out of them and webcam inputs and microphone recording inputs to basically cover all the remaining no-code options in OpenAgent Studio that allow you to... Okay. Oh, I just like looking at this output. It also, there's like a non-technical output here that's easier to see. Okay. Wait, sent data. Okay, there we go. Cool. And then that's just a transcript. So what you can do is actually you can kind of loop it, have it record every 5 minutes, and then generate a transcript every 5 minutes. That's kind of useful because it's very accurate in that looping. So um, like chunking it up is kind of useful. There's some tricks you can do with this. Okay, let's see. Let's also maybe add a conditional branch here. Let's add. Oh no, we're running out of time. Okay, let me continue. Sorry. I think like I covered at least the basics there, so you should be able to do this yourself and understand like conditional branches now. You should be able to try something. Go try scraping something using the magic scraper and test it with the conditional branch. I think that's probably the easier way to test conditional branches, so maybe I'll do that really quick. So just add the magic scraper, delete the start node. This is a good practice, a design practice when prototyping automations. And then go to like the riskiest part of whatever you're doing. Let's just automate this. And then say, does the slides include information about conditional branches? Sir, only yes or no. Okay, and since we don't have a start node, this allows us very quickly prototype the riskiest assumption, the hardest part. I was reason. Oh, I think you just scraped it. Let me see. Hold on. Did it output yes at the end? Excuse me. Oh, if the say only yes, otherwise say only no. I think the GPT-4 node is like formatted a little bit better for these like reasoning based things. So we might scrape it first and then go add the GPT-4 node. Okay, there we go. Yes. So it has the word conditional on it. So now let's build an if-else statement. Okay, cool. So now you can very quickly do 2 open program nodes. And just like put a different website. That's an easy way to test conditionals. And then once you get this working, you should be able to go do like anything else, basically. With conditional branches. Okay. Oh, I didn't add the conditionals. All right, anyways. Variable magic scraper output 1 includes yes. Yes, if there's a capital Y. So, yes. And it open cheat there. Okay, all right. So that's conditional branches. Now, I think we went over like some of the advanced things. Let's see what else we didn't cover. Let's do an image and stuff now. I think we've done most of these. Like move is kind of simple. We can do move. I think we did scroll before. We've done key press before. Let's do an image, video. Maybe code is not really like you can run Python code with the code node. So you can generate code on like ChatGPT, Python code, and run it here, and it'll do it. That's kind of cool. Maybe I'll do a cool example of that. Yeah. Well, we're kind of running out of time, so okay. Let's see, what else can I do? Send data. I think we did send data to an API. Print data just prints stuff to the screen. It's not really that really necessary. Just kind of like a visual aid. Get data is like an API call, basically. We've done Google Sheets, we've done email, we've done downloads. Okay, so we've done basically everything except maybe custom code. So, okay, I'll do one more example of what custom code is. Oh, and generalized agent. Okay, so generalized agent generates a no-code graph to try and solve a problem forwardly. So, like, what that means is it's useful for like what Project Atlas is. We, like I mentioned, we have 3 modalities. We have the no-code editor. We have this chat for open-ended problems, and we have soon we'll have Loom videos. This is the open-ended problem in node form. So what that means is you can start with an automation, like you can have it scrape websites and then open each website, so you can build that part, and then you can tell the generalized agent, okay, now go navigate through this site and sign up, because every website might have like a different UI and stuff, right? So now it'll just look at the website. So this will do is it'll take a screenshot of where it's at and then continue on and try to solve the problem for you. And it's really cool. Like maybe I don't think we have time for it today. Maybe I should go over like an example of this, because this is also one of the ways you can future-proof your agents by injecting reasoning, this like open-ended reasoning into the agent. So what'll happen is, like right now it can do simple things, but in future models, the context limits of the complexity of what it can do can increase. So you can imagine, like you can have an open-ended agent that just says, make me money on Fiverr on autopilot or something, or go build me a business and some shoes or something. I don't know. Like it can go do things like that. It's kind of cool, especially with OpenAgent Cloud and all these instances that we're subsidizing. We'll be able to run a bunch of these in parallel. This will be a huge source of interesting research bets for us in the future. So you don't have to focus on it, but if you have I wouldn't like go from the point of view of the solution seeking a problem. Always start with your most valuable problems. And like we talked about in the first class, I tried to like teach the ways that, like the tricks, the rules that we use to validate ideas and problems to solve and prioritize them based on urgency and frequency, and all that stuff helps actually. It doesn't like guarantee success, it just like increases your success by maybe 2% or something. But you should take everything you can, I think. It's really hard. But it'll get easier over time. And especially like the way we're setting things up with our creator program, since we've solved some of these, like a lot of these problems, we will grow very quickly. I think we're very close to product market fit, and we're already growing organically faster than we can keep up, than I can even meet customers. So that's why I'm focusing on like automating documentation. So very soon we're going way faster than we can handle, I think, because I'm not even advertising yet. And if we set up thousands of marketing agents, or like our users set them up for us, we can basically bring in potentially billions of dollars per year realistically into our ecosystem. Not just us, we'll be probably sharing some of that with our creators, early supporters, and things like that. So it's really exciting. That's like a long tangent, but it's all like, it's really exciting research. So this is a really cool thing to play with maybe later. I'll let it go for now. So it's a time suck. Maybe I'll talk about it in the next class. So let's generate like an image. Let's see. Dogs. Wait. Poodle Ranch. Okay. Then glorious Poodle Ranch. I'm doing these last because they take a while. So, right, these are the image and video generations. They use ideogram and stable video right now. And there's a certain number of free generations every month for users. I have to go check how much it varies for each account actually. So you can test it out, and then eventually you can add you'll have to add your own like ideogram key basically. Um, oh, but we figured out a way to do stable video unlimited. That's kind of cool. Everything I'm doing today, like all these if else branches, are unlimited tasks. I keep forgetting to mention that because it's like our reality now. We don't even think about tasks, but for like a lot of other services, users have to tasks are like always in consideration in what you're building and stuff, and experimentation and stuff like that. So don't worry about running this. Like go try it, and especially in OpenAgent Cloud because it should definitely work. Some users have like install issues and network issues where things don't work, but let me find the high-res image. My point is that try this out. If you think any of this is fun at all and you're bored or have some time, go try some of this stuff out. We have unlimited executions and agents, and just it's useful for experimentation. This is so funny. It's really weird. They I don't know. For some reason, this model has these kinds of trees. It's kind of funny. All right. Which one? There's two images, I think. I generated. So it uses images for both the video and the image generator. Okay, yeah. So this was probably the image generator, and then this is a glorious one. Oh, that's why it's glorious. Okay. I see. I wonder what the video will look like. So stable video is not that good. We ship now Runway ML. There's like a, well, I haven't integrated it yet into everything, but by next class, I should be able to integrate the Runway ML agent, the SEO agent, and the ads agent at least into the core agent team. So you just kind of fill in your stuff and it just runs on a schedule. But we have a Runway ML agent. I don't want to maybe mess this up, but if you click it, you can run it yourself and try it. And it generates, you can like generate unlimited images if you have the videos, if you have their unlimited plan. It's kind of exciting. I'll be focusing on that when we scale up our marketing efforts soon, which is really, really one of the more exciting things we're working on. Like all this stuff we're building because it's like stuff we can use, like live mode, OpenAgent Cloud. We're going to scale to thousands of marketing agents to help us scale cheat layer, and do really exciting agents, I think. We have some really cool ideas for marketing agents because like all these viral tricks pop up constantly, and I've taken advantage of them before, like SEO or the Facebook graph, or I had a viral article I wrote in 2017 because of there was like the Google Screed. This guy wrote like an article about how programmers shouldn't be women and minorities. And I remembered I learned to code by just looking online on tutorials. So I made a tutorial in spite of that to teach people to build Instagram bots in Google Cloud, non-technical people, by just copying and pasting things. So I made a really simple thing with like, I'm actually pretty good at documentation. It's kind of funny. Simple thing with like animated GIFs between each step. So it's really hard to fail. And so you just got copy, watch the next thing, copy. And so a lot of people learned, like hundreds of thousands of people, I think, read it, but a lot of people learned how to set up their first server and do any sort of coding just by copying and pasting, just like I did actually. And then once you do that the first time, you go back, some people go back and edit the script. And that's how it starts. It's funny. And it's cool. And you can go look back at the comments and see like people learning to code and ask questions and figuring it out on their own and stuff like that. It was kind of exciting. And it ranked, okay, so I wrote that article and it ranked on Google. My point was, it ranked on Google, and that helped me grow one of my businesses to like, I think the most we hit was 20K MRR at the peak of the pandemic. No, 30K. 32K. And then like it went down really quickly. Yeah. That was like the average for many months. And then we sold like lifetime deals and like it mixed and stuff like that. But the point was that was really cool because it solved distribution for me. So I like it went viral. For many years I didn't do anything. I like let it go viral and rank on Google. So it ranked on Google for Instagram bots. And I would come back and comment on it and help people solve these open source. I wasn't writing code for it. I was just helping people solve open source things. And eventually the open source tool stopped working because Instagram security team stepped up their efforts and started tracking IP addresses. And so we have a lot of experience actually in beating the Facebook security team. Coincidentally, we've been still consistently beating them for years because at this point the solution, maybe I explained it before, the only solution at some point is to introduce CAPTCHAs and stuff like that, which damages your business metrics. So at some point it's not worth it. You're maybe wondering why they don't remove bots. At some point it hurts their business actually. So we had that cat and mouse game for many years and we won. Basically, we solved the way the open source, this is like a story I'm going through while we wait for the video. The open source Instagram bots all got blocked because they were using the unofficial API. And that's like kind of easy to track because Instagram knows your key, and so they can easily block all those. And everyone's accounts who use them got blocked too. That was crazy. And then for a while, we realized that, okay, I read their blogs, the Instagram security team's blogs, and they explained what they were doing. They were like tracking IP addresses. So they instantly knew when you switched to a new network, and they gave everyone a trust score. That's what they called it then. I don't know what they do now. They probably have like multiple machine learning models now or something. But there was a way to get around it, basically, was just to automate your home network. Automate a Chrome extension. So that's how I started building my first Chrome extensions. I was stuck on a flight. I don't remember where anymore now. But they didn't have internet. I'm pretty sure it was from the West Coast to the East Coast, but it was like a mid-flight that didn't have internet. And so I had my laptop, and I realized, well, I have all this traffic. Maybe I could build something to monetize it because I'm here anyway. So in that 6 hours or whatever, I coded up the first version of my first Saas product. And we launched it the next day, literally the next day. It was not automation. It was like this proxy thing to support those people who needed proxies. And it got sales on the first day immediately because we had that viral article. I'll maybe in the next class I'll bring up the stats. And you can see it still gets traffic and stuff like that. And so we got thousands of people clicking it every day, and 1% of them bought the product. And so that quickly we were just growing MRR constantly, and it hit the peak around 32K was the most we ever made. And that was a combination of subscription and lifetime deals. But it hit the peak that first March, right after the pandemic started, because everyone was at home, everyone was using Instagram and searching bots, and they all had the time to research this. And you can go back and look at and see. It's kind of funny. And then you can see the peak and things. But my point is that these viral trends, they happen constantly. Google SEO just happens. It used to be much easier. Facebook graph used to be much easier. What typically tends to happen is these services monetize those network value effects thing and then sell it back to you. So I think we have the opportunity. I've done this a few times where I've exploited these kinds of things. That Medium article. I tried to write articles that exploited it, but they fixed it eventually. But there are these opportunities basically to grow really quickly, and I think we have opportunity to test this in parallel very quickly because we have thousands of users who are using our product and testing and doing all these things, and they all have TikTok accounts. So when I was doing this research, I was trying to figure out, well, how do we do multivariate testing across many accounts? And I was trying to buy you might have seen I was trying to buy TikTok accounts. And I was trying to buy hundreds of TikTok accounts, and it's a really shady process if you tried it. So I don't want to do that. And you get blocked anyway. And so and that's not really a scalable thing either. You have to go sign up manually. I think what's much more scalable is we grow customers daily, 10 to 20 subscribers, and we already have thousands of global users, and some of them are willing to support us, but also make money. So what we can do is I think we can share, automate sharing part of our revenue through a creator program where we automate this process and all that stuff. So if we're doing it in parallel, all these users will be able to test all these different viral strategies in parallel, doing something called multivariate testing across thousands of TikTok accounts. And I don't think anyone's done anything like that before. And so I think people have done it individually, like agencies have probably set up tests and stuff, A/B testing, but we can do multivariate testing across like different markets and different copywriting and styles and strategies, and have the agents even copy other strategies and things like that. And it'll be really cool, I think. And then, like, I think at a high level, we'll start to gain insights that no one else has. And so, and we'll share it with just like our customers, obviously. But I think that'll unlock a lot more value as well. So it'll be very interesting once we get to the scale that users have their own open agent cloud systems. I mean, you can run it locally too, but they can help us scale by, since they have all these users have accounts already. So it helps us. And if we can set that up, we can turn that into a flywheel where like new users can join the creator program. Some percentage of new users will already join the affiliate program. So we're just offering to pay them more now. And so our new affiliate program, if you didn't know, we upgraded it to this new system that actually tracks paddle payouts and subscriptions. So if you refer someone now, you get 30% recurring revenue commission. And we have some affiliates from last year who make like $2,000 a month, and they didn't, like, most of the traffic was from last year. They didn't keep promoting, but they still make money. It's kind of cool. And so I think it was mostly organic, that's why. But like, we're growing organically already. And when we turn on ads, we get around 4 to 18x ROI. So some of these agents, when we set this up with Open Agent Cloud, you will just be able to turn on basically and start just selling cheat layer with our affiliate program to take 30% recurring revenue commission. So that means every month, anyone who stayed, that's why some of these users still get $2,000 a month. Anyone who stayed a customer with us, you get 30% of their monthly subscription. Plus, we're going to pay $1 per 1,000 views. And we're going to automate that process through our agents that just like monitor the views and all that stuff for you. So in addition, so you'll make more money basically. So if you don't yet have a product to sell, or if you're just like looking for experience in selling and marketing and automation and then apply it to your business, this is an easy way to do it, because we've set up like a lot of the we did a lot of the hard work. Basically, we've been A/B testing our landing pages for months to get around 30% conversion rates. Like, we're growing mostly organically. There's a lot of things that's really difficult to do for new products, and so you can kind of like piggyback off that to jumpstart if you're looking to just like get started and things like that. Last bits of advice, I guess. Wait, the video should have been done by now. I've been talking for a while. Let me check. Yeah, where is it? Oh, there it is. I mean, stable video is not that good. That's why we're switching to Runway ML, but it's okay. It's really good. I was hoping the dogs would move. You get the idea. Okay. Okay, so let's go back here. Open Agent Cloud preview. I kind of did that at the beginning, but let me explain it really quickly since we're running out of time. So I'm going to go over Open Agent Cloud next week in the next class. I think we can make significant progress in a week to make it a lot easier for users. So right now there's like, you can edit it using let me just show you, like, there's like a difference. Okay, I just have to reconnect these. Okay, so there's actually a difference between, like, we did 2 different solutions to connect to this. So I was doing this thing with, wait a minute. Oh, here it is. Wait. Here it is. Yeah. I was using Chrome Remote Desktop with a new tab here. And so this is useful for logging into accounts and things like that. But also, we have a separate way to do this. Maybe taking a second because I'm using internet. I'll do this one. Okay. So I actually built like an entirely new way to control cloud agents. That's a little bit more efficient for us. So you might notice this looks a little bit crisper than the Chrome Remote Desktop. And so it's higher resolution. It's a headless display. And we also, like, I don't show this, but we are also streaming the controls to the instance, which means that we can control the instance using this much more accurately. Actually, it has higher latency, or sorry, lower latency. That's better, and it's smoother, higher resolution and stuff because we're using WebRTC to stream, and it's super high, like low latency. See, it's 93 kilobytes, really efficient. I don't know why they don't use it. They use some other protocols that's a little bit slower with more overhead, I think. So that's why Chrome Remote Desktop has a little bit like extra delay and stuff like that. So it's really cool, easier way to control all these instances in the cloud. And then it's even easier to use than Chrome Remote Desktop. But we had to build this because I don't even know if I should explain this. It's going to blow people's minds, but we're just kind of getting started. And so very soon we'll have agents that orchestrate agents in the thousands. And in order for them to do that, they need to have easy access to those agents. And so that's why we built this system for agents to actually be able to see what other agents are doing. And now they all have these WebRTC streams. I don't think any other agent system on the planet has gone this far. We have the ability to scale up to thousands programmatically. So an agent can then, that has access to my account, can actually scale up to thousands of agents in parallel because it can spin these up with a goal in mind, not just for spinning it up, but with an actual goal in mind, like research, like scientific research, like meaningful research. At my wedding this last week, my uncle is actually like a polymer scientist. He does research. He doesn't publish papers, but he does patents and stuff. And I was just talking to him about like some of the cool, exciting things we've been doing. Because like the really exciting thing is that these things can do research and solve independent problems now. Like the documentation is just a simple example, I think. Like that blew my mind and solved a big problem for us. But we also had like, through the process of building OpenAgent Studio and Cheatler, I've had like spine-tingling events that I can't explain in any other tool or way. Like, for example, when we were building the first research agent, I probably talked about this in like our last live streams and stuff when we were doing it. We had a research agent that had 3 tasks. It would go open up PDFs for some whatever topic, and it would have some thesis. It would try to prove independent thesis of those papers, summarize them. The second task would actually do the summarizations using GPT-4 and then combine all the summarization. So the first task actually scraped the PDFs. The second task opened the PDFs, summarized them all, combined the summaries. And then the final task took the combinations of the summaries and generated like an independent thesis and conclusion and continued if you need to, or areas to continue research and stuff. It's really cool. It generated some cool, interesting things. But when we first built it, it didn't work because I built the framework to build agents programmatically using Project Atlas first, which is really cool. So what happened was we built the framework for these agents to regenerate their tasks if they failed, and they were succeeding in simple tasks on their own actually, which was exciting. And I was just kind of increasing the complexity of what we could do. And this research agent was actually constantly failing the second task. And like I let it run one day, and I didn't let it stop. Normally I would let it stop after like 5 or something. And it got to 26 tasks constantly because it's like eating up money, right? So it got to 26 tasks, and then on the 26 tasks, randomly, it solved like some coding issue in opening up PDFs and reading them correctly. It solved some way to do it correctly. And it figured it out on its own, scraped all the PDFs, came back with a conclusion, and solved itself on its own. And that was like my first like big spine-tingling moment where like, that's something I never expected. Like I didn't think that. So that means that it's able to solve its own problems in a research task. So it has the potential to actually do like independent scientific research. And the only way I found that was when it went to the 26th iteration, right? Like, so you can imagine the solution space. We are probably like just sitting around many different discoveries in the air, just like waiting for someone to go prompt like 26 times to go find the thing. But they exist, I'm pretty sure, already. So what that means is when we have this ability to scale up to thousands of agents, I'm gonna just try things and just let the agents go try and solve like certain like MS or multiple sclerosis or like dog diseases and things that are like meaningful and stuff like that. I think it's actually possible to accelerate research, make discoveries, all that sorts of things, but not the way we've been doing it so far. It's kind of simple. I think if you give them a sandbox to actually write code, and like people have been talking about this in research now, it's like if you give it a sandbox, you can actually make significant tests and simulations and discoveries and things like that. So that's all like exciting stuff for the future. And I think it seems like we're just getting started because we're only running single agents right now on my computer. I mean, I'm just now starting to scale up, as you can see, to thousands of agents in parallel. Each one of these will stack hundreds when I'm done, and we'll demonstrate how it works on our own business as a case study, because we're literally using these agents to scale cheat layer, and each one of these will be hundreds, so this whole page will be 1,000 agents. So I think we'll learn a lot, and we'll like discover new exciting things, and I don't even know I don't even know where we'll be in a year. Like I can't predict. Like that's how crazy what we're doing is. Like I can't predict, like if we're doing this at this scale, I can't predict what we'll do in a year. So really exciting things are happening. All right, so that's enough for today's class. I'm gonna let you guys go, but in next class we'll talk about the final class. We'll talk about OpenAgent Cloud, and actually I've extended the deadline for landing pages because we had a bug in our Chrome extension that the Vercel integration isn't working. So it's not going to allow you to publish right now, but you need to publish to strongly validate products. You actually should charge. So we're going to extend the deadline. I haven't published the deadline yet, so you can keep working on your landing pages to validate your ideas and launch your products. By now, you should know how to build things, validate the idea, launch our core team, and then in the final class, if you haven't had a chance to install anything, you can install it in like a minute and then get started and stuff like that. Okay, cool. Right, have a good weekend, guys. Wait. Let me answer some questions real quick. I think there's some questions that I forgot to answer. Is it output of the cheat layer folder? Yes, by default, but you can change the location. Release version, latest release version. We don't really publish them. I mean, it's published to the top here, but we force auto updates on major releases, and that's because it's kind of the timing for publishing to the different app stores is weird. So we're going to fill out a property bin details using a text editor instead of using the GUI. Oh, no. But you can copy over from a text editor. That's maybe, I didn't understand the question maybe. When we use wait, that's a good question. Like some websites, when they load, they take a few seconds to load. Add the wait node before scraping data. And then agent and complete and storage. I can go to it later and change it or try to sell it. Oh yeah. You can go back and resell any of our pre-built agents. Okay. I think those are all the questions. Okay. Sorry, I'm kind of reading this fast. Okay, guys. Have a good weekend. If I didn't answer your question, I'll try to come back to it later in the Discord. See ya.